So I think the U.S. government will characterize these new tariffs as derisking rather than decoupling, and make the point that they're fairly narrow in range as a proportion of total trade, and try and juxtapose that to the previous broad-based tariffs implemented by the Trump administration. But I think that their objective is to support industries which the U.S. is actively subsidizing in areas like new energy vehicles and batteries and the like, and also to try and de-risk supply chains where the United States is dependent on China. So I think it's a mix of a strategy that will be explained in those terms. There's also a political element in this, and as I understand it, some of the tariffs which will be implemented on an accelerated schedule are the ones that are most politically salient to the president.
Now, as we are waiting on November the 5th to be exact, no matter which way we go, whether it's Republican or Democrat, we are expected to see increased tensions between China and the United States. Can you put your finger on it? Tell us how things are from how you see it. We did have President Biden and President Xi with a phone call not so long ago, but things are not as good as they were after they met face-to-face in November.
That's right. I think that the tension has drifted upwards in the last couple of months, particularly because of the concerns on the U.S. side about the relationship between China and Russia and how that is helping Russia in its war efforts. That's probably the single most important cause. But this discussion of overcapacity from the U.S. side is also very important. Now, I think China will probably tolerate or price in to a certain extent a certain amount of U.S. actions on tariffs and technology denial over the coming months, expecting that to happen in a pre-election environment. Like you said, Emily, the big question is what happens in 2025 and which direction things go then, with the general expectation being that the Biden administration comes in, they'll do more of the same, and if the Trump administration returns, that'll be more dramatic.
Or dramatic. Ambassador, good to see you again. This is Martin. Let me jump in with a question. So you're out of government now, and where you are now at the Asia Group, you work at the intersection of public policy as well as corporate strategy. So these tariffs, which seem imminent, right? We understand it's a national security issue. It's a jobs issue as well ahead of November. So part of this, obviously, is political. The thing is, though, it could potentially hurt American corporate profits and earnings as well. So what are you telling clients right now?
So I think clients will need to study the tariff announcement when it comes out tomorrow, and then carefully parse what the impact is on their specific industries. So there will be some industries that benefit and some that find that these new tariffs are an impediment. And generally speaking, we would expect to see an increasing drift, perhaps in anticipation of a possible Trump presidency, an increasing drift towards trade being routed through third countries or intermediate manufacturing rather than direct bilateral trade between the U.S. and China.